that's like a true story of a kid who just didn't have someone say you're good enough.
Yeah.
And you can do it.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Members on Air, this new podcast here in 2023. With me today, I have Ricardo Garza. He's the founder of Club Atlético St. here in St. Louis. They're a soccer team, and before we get started with the interview, I just want to remind you guys to follow us on all of our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're anywhere and everywhere, the Hispanic Chamber of Metropolitan St. Louis. We'll put it at the bottom as well. You can follow us on our YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe this video. We'll put Club Atlético St. Louis social media accounts as well at the bottom, so you can follow them. I don't know if you want to tell their social media right now.
Yeah, Club Atlético STL.
Okay.
On everything.
There you go. And we'll put it at the bottom so the way, and a link in the description so that you guys can follow Club Atlético St. Louis. Now going into the episode, hi Ricardo, how are you?
Thanks for having me. Good.
Yeah, no, thank you for being part of the podcast. I remember we talked last year.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's finally happening. You're gonna be the first.
All right.
Yeah. So it's great. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Ricardo Garza?
Yeah, sure. I grew up here in South St. Louis my whole life. I have 3 Mexican grandparents, 1 Italian. So I grew up with both cultures my whole life. Soccer obviously is the melting pot for both cultures. So I
sure.
grew up here, went to school here my whole life, and now I'm just in college soccer and semi-pro soccer and youth soccer.
Yeah. So what is Club Atlético St. Louis? Like I said earlier, I mentioned that it's a soccer team, but what do you guys do? Where does it play?
So it started in South America.
Okay.
Like I said, I coached college since 2005.
Okay.
One of our players from Bolivia came over. He couldn't speak any English. He could say the F word and Oreos. That was it. But we won a national championship together. And he was yes, thank you. And he could speak English by the end of the time with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he transferred to a university here in the Illinois side, Lindenwood University.
Okay.
Won a national championship with them. Got a business and marketing degree. Went back to Bolivia, and then his life changed forever. So he started sending us more kids like him.
Okay.
And wanted to try to change more people's lives. Fast forwarding that a few years, and then he said, "Hey, Coach, why don't you come to Bolivia? Let's do a big camp. Let's try to really make this big. I really want to take care of my whole city because his life has gotten so much better, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is just trying to take certain people from poverty to generational improvement.
Yeah. Okay.
Whether it's through my business or whether it's through soccer.
Yeah.
And now it's with college. So that grew. The camp was phenomenal. It was huge. Everybody supported it. That turned into a soccer academy.
Okay.
This is in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Then after a few years of that being successful, the time was right to launch it in St. Louis.
Okay.
So we launched Club Atlético St. Louis in 2017.
Okay.
Played in the National Premier Soccer League. But it's all the bridge. It's to bridge South America to St. Louis. It's to send St. Louis kids to South America to play. It's also to be a platform for South American kids to come to college here. So we've helped over 100 kids come to college in the St. Louis area since we created that organization. And now here we are at Club Atlético St. Louis. We're a nonprofit organization, and we're trying to infuse our principles of life in the community and provide next to nothing cost of soccer development in the summertime, and change lives the way that it was for me. Because someone gave me an opportunity, gave me a scholarship. My life changed because of soccer. Okay. And I kind of held on to that. And that's kind of where we are as a Latino leader. I feel in the community, we're the only Latino family that runs a sports team in St. Louis. Okay. So we're trying desperately to keep it going. We don't want it to die. Yeah. That's why we're here, is just to let people know we exist and why we exist and why we did this.
Yeah. So you created it with your family? Like, is the whole Garza family like embedded in the team?
The first year, I had a partner. He brought another partner in, and they just after 1 year they didn't want to do it anymore. Okay. And so at that time, my family approached me and said, "Hey, this is something really great. This is like another chapter in your life. You really are doing something with this. Why don't we all do it as a family?
Okay.
And so that's when the Garza family took over in 2018.
That's great. And like you said, soccer has changed your life. You said it has changed so many people's lives, and I feel like that's a great way to. Because obviously, from what I'm getting, Club Atlético St. Louis is not only all about soccer, right? It's about like implementing things for the community here. Maybe keep bringing kids over from Latin America to here. So it's not only like maybe soccer is like the core of it, but like that's not all of what you guys do.
It's the catalyst.
Yeah.
Like it unites different cultures together.
Yes.
We are obviously a Latin infused club.
For sure.
But we want to bring all cultures together. We just happen to be brown. So it's a special opportunity as a family, but it's also a struggle financially. With the MLS team here, with other sports options here, it's kind of like we're the David against the Goliath. There's multiple Goliaths in St. Louis, so it really is going to take a small community to support us. And that's why I appreciate coming on here so people can learn more about what we do.
Yeah, no, that's why we want to have you here. Hopefully this can help. I heard you earlier. You mentioned you guys do things the summer, right? And I was looking through your website and stuff, and you guys have like free soccer camps or have had free soccer camps. What can you tell us? Just tell us a little bit about that.
So we really like to go into neighborhoods where kids don't get a chance to play soccer at a competitive level. Families are working, they can't play club soccer. That's our niche, right? Like we want to help the kids who just don't get those opportunities. There's plenty of kids in St. Louis that pay to play, and they have those means. But there's a whole group of people who don't. So those are the families, communities we want to go into and give them something that is at super high level at no cost. And that's just a matter of finding people who already are in that community that have the connections, know the kids that want to play, going to our website, connecting with us, and just putting it on the calendar. That's as simple as it is. We'll go there. We go to Fairmont, Illinois, to South City, to North City. It doesn't matter. In the St. Louis greater area, we're here to serve.
Okay. So you said that they play in the what's the name of the league that they play at?
We have two teams now.
Okay.
The first team is U23.
Okay.
And it's National Premier Soccer League. There's nearly 100 teams in the nation.
Okay.
We're the team that represents St. Louis. And it's amazing. A lot of business owners. There's really not a lot of families that run these teams. It's a lot of business guys. And they do it as a business. And we do need to be successful as a business. We've just shifted it into a nonprofit, program. But we just added a second team. Since the first team is U23, which is mostly college players and older, we wanted to do something for the high school age.
Okay.
So we applied and were accepted in the Midwest Premier League, which is the MWPL.
Okay.
It's mostly in the St. Louis area, a little bit in Kansas City, a little bit in Iowa, and that's going to be for 16 and 19-year-olds.
Okay.
And so now we can have a kid for 10 years in the summer, watch them progress from a high school kid to a college kid to a pro. We've had many kids go pro. In our system, we have kids playing in Asia, we have kids playing in South America, we have kids, play indoor soccer, and that is one of the pillars we are legit on the soccer side. We're just trying to help boys become men and learn that you really have to serve others to get to an opportunity like you got, or teach someone some skills that you have, and we're trying to build that culture that, okay, we have this platform for you to succeed, but let's try to get as many more other kids to see there's a path for them. And that's why it's so important, like uniting cultures through sport is our motto. So if we can touch every different culture in St. Louis and they have representation on our team.
Is that like your vision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then they can see, hey, that could be me someday.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose. Like if we create the dream, but then we need to start implementing it. And that's when things get a little costly, and that's when things get a little bit where we need people to jump in and say, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah. And that was going to be my next question, because we've talked about the team was going through like some financial hard times. Like what do you need to improve your financial status?
So just helping with some of the cost, travel, finding the venue and paying for the venue. the referees and uniforms and things like that. We have a good chunk in the budget to basically pretty much almost break even. It's not even like it's nice. People want to donate. Hey, here's $100. Here's $500. We like what you're doing. It all goes to the kids.
Yeah.
But it's really coming to the games is enough support.
Okay.
Like if we had 100 new fans this summer, tickets are $10. That would go a huge way for us.
Sure.
I mean, you're talking about just coming out and paying a $10 ticket, but if 100 people come out and say, I want to support this, let's see what's going on. We usually have live entertainment at halftime. Okay. We have kids. We usually have Latino groups that come out and dance. We have dance groups from like the North County area, North City area.
Yeah.
We try to make it a family-friendly environment. This year we're hoping to have like beer and wine served at the games too, to kind of enhance the experience.
Oh, okay. So you guys didn't have that before?
Not that part.
Okay. So you said like it's great if someone want to donate, but your goal is not for only people to donate, but like for people to actually attend and be involved.
Yeah. We play 5 or 6 home games.
Okay.
We have 5 or 6 away games. Obviously, you're not going to travel.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they make half of those games, buy a T-shirt, buy a scarf, and come to a game, that's $30 that goes into the pot, and that helps us. If somebody's like, hey, we want to go even more, I'm going to donate, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
We really want it to be a community team, like a community team. And I was talking to one of our players, Anthony Brown, last night. He just made the St. Louis Ambush, and he's going to do that in the off season. He's a graduate of St. Louis University. He's like 24 years old, I think, and he still has a couple of years to try to go pro. And we have that option at kids on the first team. And then you have the kids that are like 6 years younger than him that are just starting out. And the players that get involved want it to be successful. They're like, we need more fans. We need you need help. Like your family can't do this all. How can we help? And that's kind of where it is. I think it could really be a nice community thing where it's not a donation, but it's somebody to MC the mic during games. It's somebody to film the camera during the games. It's someone working the gate, the concession. Volunteering when we do the community events to help corral kids and do many different things like that. That's where we're at. And then I think if more people kind of say, I want to be a part of it, they realize it don't have to be a financial contribution. It can be time.
Yeah. So money's not an excuse, right?
Yeah.
Because are you guys in need for no, you're good. Are you guys in need for sports clothing? I don't know, sponsorship.
So we have uniforms, and then we have to buy more. You have to buy training gear. We probably spend over $10,000 a year on gear, and then we spend about another $10,000 with the travel and the venues. So you're looking at like a $20,000 budget is to break even every year.
I gotcha.
So that's kind of where we need, on a basis. Now, we have not had yet major sponsors.
I was going to ask you that.
And it's kind of surprising. So all the other teams, they'll get $9,000 sponsors for their jersey.
Okay.
So they'll be on the front of the jersey, the back of the jerseys, and they'll bring in $15,000 just on the jersey side of it. Signage in the fields and things like that. I think if we could get anywhere between 15 to 20,000 in sponsorships this year, whether it's a collective from 100 businesses or 10, we're just going to take that and run with more opportunities. We want to build a stadium.
Okay.
Is our vision. We have it on our website. When you go to our website and you see this beautiful stadium on our website, that's because we've already gone to that level of the renderings and the size of it, and it's just about finding a location and businesses that want to kind of bundle that location and be a part of that synergy.
Yeah.
And we would use the stadium to serve.
Okay.
So picture Busch Stadium or something like that, but yet nonprofits get to use the stadium once a year for an event and keep all the cash ticket sales. And on an annual basis, they have a large venue of 2,500 seat stadium, private seats, restaurant inside, meeting rooms, and then you have this field that can be put on as a concert, you put on as sports, and that's the vision of our stadium too. It's a community stadium, so we don't have to say, hey, donate, do time. We would have our own financial, platform to make change, can bring these other nonprofits that make change into the mix, and then bring finances to them to empower what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what we really want Atletico to be, is we're not like, hey, Atletico's doing this, Atletico's doing that. How can we all collaborate? Use this sport platform that's soccer to assist what you're already doing in the community that we're also serving.
Yeah.
And players, we have an amazing mascot, Benito. We can do things that add a little bit more excitement to the things that are making change. And that's where we are. That's the space we want to be. We want to have community partners that don't give us any money. They have a good promotion that they do. They serve this community in this capacity. We want to partner with that, make sure that we're giving our time to that, bring other people into it. And that's where I think we could find the right sponsors that see the vision of what we're trying to do. And they don't look at it as like it's just throwing away $5,000 a year. It's like we're empowering the community by supporting Atletico to do these things.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. So before we move on, can you tell them their website, because that way they can go in their website, they can look at the stadium that you were just talking about.
Go Bluebirds. So we're Club Atlético St. Louis. Our nickname are the Bluebirds.
Okay.
So gobluebirds.com.
Gobluebirds.com. So let's say, for example, maybe not because of this podcast or because of this podcast or other scenarios, you end up getting the sponsorship you need. What would that be utilized for besides, like, I know you just mentioned give gear and the jerseys and like helping. Is there anything else that money would go towards? I don't know if you have like an idea of a plan of bringing more kids or helping the community in a different way.
Like right now, all the expenses just come out of my check, my personal funds, you know, and that's why we're kind of getting to the point where it's getting harder and harder to support the team.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Because we don't get that sponsorship or enough donations, and that will really help us, you know, just take care of a lot of the expenses, things like that. But we want to be able to have a soccer club of U8, U10, 12, 14, 16, and 18.
Okay.
5 teams on the boys' side, 5 teams on the girls' side. We want to eventually add a girls' component to Club Atlético.
Yeah.
We're bouncing around the idea of this summer. We don't know if we can work this out because we just added a second team on the youth component.
Yeah.
Next year, there's no way we're not going to have a women's. We have to have one by next year. But this summer, we're going to try to see what we can do. The goal is that Club Atlético has 5 to 10 youth teams that cost nothing. So kid can come out. There's no fees attached to it. You come out. The staff that trains the highest level of kids that are trying to go pro are now going to be training these 8, 9, 10 to 12-year-old kids at no cost. That's where we want to do, is eventually get to the point, like it is in other places of the world, it's free to play. And we want to bring that to St. Louis.
Okay.
We don't want it to be a rec thing. There's a difference between recreational and competitive and club.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of options for rec.
Yeah.
Where people have done that.
Yeah.
But we really are trying to have something that competes with the pay-to-play kids and be free. And then what will happen is, just because you don't have the money, you can play. It's also, well, what if you do have the money? You don't have to pay either. Like it's for everybody.
It's for everybody, yeah.
It's just taking the better kids that have the potential, and there's no cost-effective, it's not a pay-to-play. Put them in that environment to succeed. Now, what would happen to the rest of the pay-to-play clubs? Maybe we can not necessarily, we don't want clubs to fail. We know that the finances have to come in, but when you get so big, then it becomes a monopoly.
Yeah.
And
I can tell you, I know you said some recreational teams. I can mention a couple that are very, very expensive to get in. You don't even have to be good. You just need to have the money.
Yeah.
So the fact that you want to make it free thing could benefit a lot of kids, because there's a lot of great kids. Honestly, I don't know if it's a thing or what, but in soccer, most of the really good kids don't have money.
Yeah.
If you look at the famous players all over the world, most of them came from nothing.
Yeah.
And if they would have been in a situation where they had to pay this fee or this stuff to play, they probably never would have gotten to the place they're at.
And going back to Bolivia, when we went to Bolivia, Daniele over there, Daniele Stabile is his name.
Okay.
our team over there just qualified for the second division of pro.
Oh, awesome.
So we started at the level we are now, and it keeps winning the division, right?
Yeah.
Well, when we go over there, and these families, we'll have 200 kids sign up.
Nice.
And there was a mother one time, and she's crying, and as I'm coming out the field, and she says, Ricardo, and she said, I could only afford to put one of my kids in your camp. It was $5 US to do the camp there, and they had to charge something over there. Otherwise, there'd be thousands of kids, right? So they had to charge something in Bolivia to do it. So it's $5 US to do the identification camps over there. We bring college coaches, they identify them, they bring them back to America, right? They sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So she chose her youngest son because she couldn't afford the other $5 for her older son.
Mm-hmm.
And as the camp went on, she realized it's a missed opportunity for her second son.
For her second son, yeah.
Like, there are the families that will put everything in to their kids if they have it, and they just don't have it.
They just don't have
and
it.
if we could find those kids, I was one of those kids myself, right? And so, like, if we could find those kids that have the potential, but don't have the means to play on top teams, and fill that void, then we're doing something. And again, we want to stay. We don't want to have two teams in every age group.
Yeah.
We want to collaborate with the other clubs.
Okay.
And say, hey, you know what? We have 20-something kids now. Maybe this kid should go with you guys. Maybe this kid should go with you guys.
Yeah.
Sponsor them. We'll help pay for their costs. And now we're blending them in to the higher levels of soccer in St. Louis. You know, so that's what we want to eventually be at. Is be a part of it.
Okay.
There's a club in Dream Big, Jorge Flores.
Okay.
That's what he's doing, and he's doing it at a small capacity that seems to grow, and he's very inspiring. Like someone like him, Jorge, we wouldn't say, hey, Jorge, come into our club. We would say, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Here's some money. Here's some funds.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep your thing going. Like, it doesn't have to change a name. It's not about the brand. It's about the people running there.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to like monopolize everything. Yeah.
No. Stay small. Let that stay small. And then maybe someone else says, oh, you know what, Ricardo? We want to do something like what you're doing in our area. Good. Give them the tools. Give them the training, and help them grow. That's what we need more of. We need more people that. For where we're at right now, right? The Latinos, right?
Yeah.
And grow more people that can grow more programming.
Yeah.
To help more kids. And then someone from this culture, understanding, oh, we want to do it too. Yeah, you're with us.
Okay.
We're uniting cultures through sport. And maybe we do this the right way. We have our facility. We've done this. Club Atlético Athletic Club can be any sport.
Yeah.
Now it could go basketball. The Puerto Rican society say, oh, we don't run soccer. We're baseball. Fine.
Baseball, yeah.
Take our model, do it for baseball. Right?
Yeah.
So we can do these things. That's what we want to be. That's what Atletico is trying to do, is to try to make a difference through sport.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, that's great. And like I said, what you guys are doing, and I've told you this off camera, what you guys are doing, it's great. And I hope, so you guys have heard that it's not only about the money. It's also about going to the games, just supporting the team. If you have the money to donate, it's welcome. It's great, but that's not like the main purpose of what you guys are looking for. You guys are looking for people to actually support and go to the games. And
yes, and there's kids there. Like I was gonna go pro. I wanted to go pro after high school. It wasn't college. Wasn't for me. And someone gave me an opportunity to go to college, and then I became a college coach 3 or 4 years after that. Now I'm coaching junior college since 2005.
Okay.
In St. Louis. I coach at St. Louis Community College, men and women.
Okay.
And it's funny, I was at Football Club STL, and there was a Latin kid that we played against early in the summer as a friendly. I ran into him about a week before my preseason. I said, Jalan, where are you going to college? He said, I'm not going to college. School's not for me. I'm like, this is me 20 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, Jalan, you have talent. He goes, I don't have offers. I'm really not good at school. I said, Jalan, someone just needs to give you an opportunity. Come to our preseason next week. See the level of the team. If you don't think you can develop in an environment to motivate you to stay in class, then at the end of the semester, drop out.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. He says, all right, I'll be there. He showed up, texted me after the training session. He goes home, I'm in. He played this year. He scored 10 goals, was a starting forward. GPA was phenomenal. He had biology class, math class, all these classes, got A's and B's all semester. And now he's using soccer as a way to motivate him.
Yeah.
That's like a true story of a kid who just didn't have someone say you're good enough.
Yeah.
And you can do it. And so God has blessed me to be a college coach and to want to serve. I don't get paid to coach semi-pro, but I feel like it has to be a platform that the community needs.
Yeah.
I also am an athletic director at an international high school called Gateway Legacy Christian Academy. We have 275 international students. Probably almost 200 are Latino.
Okay.
They're from Colombia. They're from Brazil. They're from Spain. They're all from all over, and they play sports.
Okay.
And so I'm just in this multicultural community all day, every day.
Yeah.
It is my life. It is my passion, and I do all of them to be able to do all of them. You know what I mean? I couldn't do one full time, and then I'd have to sacrifice this. Luckily, with the support of my beautiful wife, Alice, and my kids, I'm able to do all these things and still be home for dinner.
That's great.
Every night, you know. So I'm blessed, and I'm just trying to give what I'm doing and teach anybody that wants to know what I'm doing to continue this going. I'm 40 years old now. I'm trying to give as much back as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So when my son hits 18 years old, which is like another 10 years here, within the next 10 years, I can go and watch him play college soccer.
Yeah.
And someone else is passing the torch
for sure.
of running Atletico or doing these things. And we're just in a vulnerable place right now. This summer could be the most amazing summer that takes us forward. We don't get crushed by the Goliaths in the community, but instead we have the community to support us and be a part of this and move it forward. And one last thing, just to go back to Gateway.
Yeah, for sure.
Over the Christmas break, the pipes broke at the school. We took over St. Louis Christian College in Florissant. And now the schools can't be reopened, and we have dorms. So we are also, I found out coming here this morning, I found out we were looking for host families. If any people want to host kids. That are from other parts of the world who are trying to come to St. Louis to make a better life for themselves and go to school and go to college, they're juniors, seniors in high school. We're also reaching out to me about that. This is probably a good platform to ask for that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I hope that helps. I didn't know that. Actually,
I didn't either.
my brother earlier during the year, my whole family's in El Salvador. That's where I'm from. He plays for the team is called College Cup, and they actually came.
A group here.
I was gonna say
my
brother played against them. Yeah. Yep, that's what I was about to tell you. Yeah, it was such a small world because he called me and he's like, "Hey, we have a tournament. I guess it's in St. Louis." And I was like, "Hey, that's super random, but let's go." So yeah, we went to that Gateway school too. Yes. I remember.
So we're bringing several of those kids to Gateway next year.
And I was gonna tell you because I remember it caught my attention that a lot of them spoke Spanish.
Yes.
A lot of them are Latinos. I heard a lot of people from like Venezuela and other countries like that. So yeah, that's
we
awesome.
Bring them here, with the Bolivia camp we do, they go straight from Bolivia, they go straight to college. Now there's this other platform, it's high school, it's great. And now kids can come here at high school, learn English easier, get acclimated, and then spread out around the United States and go to college and university.
No, that's
and
that's
Americans
great.
can go there too, and that's the thing,
it's not only for immigrants. Yeah, it's also
like,
for everybody.
And as this soccer club maybe starts to form and become an actual youth club, kids could go to that school. They could be in those environments. They can make something really special here in St. Louis.
For sure. No, that's great. Thank you. But we have reached the end of our Members on Air, our show. Thank you everyone for watching. I am Miguel Rincan, Ricardo Garza, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios.